So I can't remember where. The largest fusion reactor.
France, I believe.
France. Okay.
France.
The largest fusion reactor in the world is being built in France. I think we'll go with that.
Keep going.
France.
Yeah.
And so this is amazing to me because it really brings up the question of like free energy. Mm-hmm. Like fusion is the holy grail of energy production.
Yes. This is our tech shot, right, guys?
This is our tech shot. We have so yeah, pop shot, tech shot, pop. No, but the tech shot is so, fusion energy is the holy grail of energy production.
Yes.
And the reason being is because, like, number one, it doesn't produce a lot of radioactive byproduct like its sibling fission. But however, it doesn't. I think the byproduct is like what, like water or something. I don't know.
Well, we definitely can. Okay, so we can power this with. I'm gonna just. I mean, this is the most layman thing, but basically, what we need to power this thing is basically in seawater.
Yeah.
So we basically have infinite energy. So I mean, that basically, this, a fusion reactor is powered by so many little things that we could take a fusion reactor to outer space, to the dark side of the moon, and be powering a city there, or a small town there, or whatever. So the idea that a fusion reactor is something that truly is, I mean, as far as we know it, kind of like infinite energy.
Yeah, at least as close as we think. And so for those of y'all who went to sleep in physics class, so nuclear fission is the process of breaking apart atoms. Nuclear fusion is the process of fusing those atoms together. Both processes, fission produces a lot of energy. It's the source of most of our nuclear weapons. There are hydrogen bombs, which are fusion bombs, which produce way more energy as well. So fusion produces a lot of energy.
I mean, to break that down, all you need to produce energy is heat. So you're basically saying what can create the most heat. We're just trying to create as much. I mean, when it comes to fission and fusion reactor, I mean, you're talking about creating plasma, basically. I mean, you're talking about creating, for real, the most heat as you can create.
Without getting a Chernobyl situation, right?
Exactly.
Like, and if y'all don't know what Chernobyl is, then I don't even want y'all to listen. I'm just playing though, but no, fusion has a bright future for us because, like you're saying, it's limitless. It has near limitless production. It has very little byproducts, and the input is everywhere. And so the issue with fusion, though, has been that fusion, a stable reaction, has not produced more energy than it's taken to to actually make the fusion happen. And that's been the biggest issue.
Cool.
It's like,
oh, you just hit the standby if you stop recording. Oh, okay.
Oh, well,
we got one cam now.
Welcome to the
first episode.
That's what happens. Exactly. That's what happens.
So
so the reaction hasn't produced more energy than it's taken to create the reaction.
Exactly.
That's been the issue.
Yes.
And so scientists have been steadily trying to figure out how to control the reaction in a way to where the input of energy is less than the output of energy.
Yes.
And so, we're getting close. And so, what does that mean for everything is a good question, because especially if these are publicly produced or publicly owned nuclear reactors, right?
Exactly.
So then it's like your city or your state has nuclear reactor. I mean, a fusion reactor that now powers the entire state, or maybe 2 or 3, whatever.
Yeah.
So 2 or 3 that powers the reactor at zero or very little cost.
Yes.
So now your electric bill and the electric bill of every producing unit in the economy. So every factory now has an electric bill of very little.
I got something to say about this.
And that is where that has like a very interesting and very hopeful future. It's like, yo, we can produce the input costs for products. We can produce. We can lower the cost of living. All of that stuff.
This is where I jump in.
Oh shit.
This is where I
already feel that he's finna say some.
I'm about to say some. I'm about to say some shit.
stuff.
I'm about to pop this. I'm about to pop the bubble, bro.
Oh
I'm about
Lord.
to pop the bubble.
Okay.
I'm about that. When it comes to terms of energy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to terms of energy, you can just stop. You can just plug it up and just when it charged, we'll start. Oh, it's plugged. Okay, cool.
I don't know.
Oh, close it and then open it back up. So
Yeah.
when it comes to terms of energy,
Yeah.
this is my thing.
Okay.
Like you're talking about, like everybody's energy bill drops down. I don't believe that for a second.
Well, this is why I say it's got to be public.
No,
Because if it's a private company, it's not gonna happen.
I don't believe this because public things they do. We always get the short end of the stick. I believe this. This is where I'm going with this because I believe that they will spend the money on this fusion reactor, right?
Okay.
They will spend the money on this fusion reactor, and they will tell us after because let's say I'm just talking about a complete perfect future, right?
Okay.
Or semi-perfect future in my example. We get to the point where we have fusion reactors in every city.
Mm-hmm.
We're powering the city with fusion reactors now.
Okay.
Meaning that we don't have to use different sources of power.
Like we're producing way more energy than we need at this point.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
We're talking about in other situations, like let's say you're using gas power for the most part.
Oh yeah, the environmental piece, but that's a whole nother
Yes,
space.
there's a complete environmental piece to that. But what ends up happening here, in my belief, ends up that like they say, okay, Georgia Power shows up and they go, okay, we run the fusion reactor now.
Okay.
We run the fusion reactor now.
Yeah.
We no longer run this gas-powered thing, so we are now, it is costing us zero, basically, or just a modicum amount to run this thing as much as it would cost us to run a gas-powered facility.
Yeah.
But the thing is that they're going to then go, well, technically, it costs more to run it because we need experts now to run the thing because it's a fusion reactor.
They're gonna raise the labor costs.
Yes, they're gonna raise the labor costs on us. They're gonna be like, now that we have to have 6 Tony Starks running this,
I can't.
we have to charge you basically just as much, if not more. But it's cleaner though.
I disagree,
bro. I'm telling you right now. I believe the way that this works is that if the government ends up deciding that, oh, we're going to drop a fusion reactor in every city because we perfected it in France. We saw that. We're going to drop one in every city. I don't believe in our capitalist society that they're going to be like, we're going to allow them to now pay less for their bill on their. I think that they're going to be like, okay, well, how can we get the same amount from them every month while doing the same amount? Well, okay, cool. We'll tell them that it costs more because we have to have experts, because what if this fusion reactor blows up? I don't know what a fusion reactor do.
I don't know what the I'm talking about. No. I feel the fear, but I'm gonna tell you.
I'm saying is that when it came to cars, they were like, this is gonna be cheaper for you in the long run. I'm gonna make you pay because it's the same with highways. They say you're gonna pay this toll for 2 years and we'll build you this extra space highway. No, you're gonna pay this toll for 8 years. and we probably gonna keep the toll there. No. And turn it into a different kind of. We're gonna turn it into the what do we have in Atlanta right now? The fast lane, the peach.
But that's
the peach path or some crap like that we have in Atlanta now. They told us they was gonna give us an extra lane. They literally made an extra lane and then said you gotta buy a pass to get out in that.
But that's because, bro, I'm not gonna speak on the road lobby's corruption of the state of Georgia. But I will say this: I disagree, and this is why I disagree. Okay. It's because even and this is my last bit.
All right, go ahead.
Even if they do raise the labor costs,
okay,
that will not offset it won't even come close to offsetting like how much the entire production of the other energy sources needed. I mean, we're talking about like shipping in coal. You know, we're talking about like a lot of extra costs. That even if like everybody on the fusion reactor staff was paid $100,000, it would not offset it. I mean, so I think it'll be ultimately.
You don't think they would look at those numbers and go like, well, we should.
Well, I think a private company would.
They would.
A private, Georgia Power definitely would. But that's why I said it really at that point. To be honest, I don't know what private company will even want to get into the game. Because the amount of revenue, I mean, would be peanuts. Yeah. You would definitely want to get into the game of constructing these things, but then like I see a model where this is it. So like I see a model if we do get reactors where there's a bunch of contractors who build these reactors and then they pass them straight off to government ownership and the government runs them and that's it. The government, but I've always believed that power and stuff should purely be a public should be purely publicly owned anyway.
Word.
You know, like I don't like the private market in the utility business, but anyway, that's a whole nother situation.
All right,
that's my shot down on that.
All right, we dropped the shot on that.
All right,
we
guys.
We shall see when these generators show up.
It's crazy we're even at a space where we're talking about this.
That is actually kind of awesome, but
it is. It is because fusion reactors was the hope of dreams back then. You know, it wasn't all.